What fruit had ye at that time in the things whereof ye are now ashamed? For the end of those things is death. But now, having been freed from the sin, and having been enslaved to the God, ye have your fruit into sanctification, and the end life bionic. For the wages of the sin is death, but the grace gift of the God is life bionic in anointed Yeshua our Lord. Romans chapter 7. Or are ye being unknowing, brothers? For I am speaking to ones knowing the law, that the law is having dominion over the man for as long a time as he is living. For the woman that hath a man hath become tied by law to the living man. But if the man die, she is discharged from the law of the man. So then, if while the man liveth she become for another man, she shall obtain the name adulteress. But if the man die, she is free from the law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be joined to another man. So too, my brothers, ye also were made dead to the law through the body of the anointed, that ye should be joined to another, even to him who was raised out of dead ones, that we might bring forth fruit to the God. For when we were in the flesh, the passions of the sins which were through the law wrought in our members to bring forth fruit to the death. But now we have been discharged from the law, having died to that wherein we were held, so that we serve in newness of spirit, and not in oldness of letter. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? Hallelujah, not so. Howbeit, I had not known the sin, except through the law. For I had not known the coveting, except the law said, Thou shalt not covet. But the sin, having seized an opportunity, wrought in me through the command all manner of coveting. For apart from the law, sin is dead. And I was alive apart from the law once, but when the command came, the sin revived, and I died. And I found that for me, when I was in the flesh, sold under the sin, the command, the one being into life, this command was being into death. For the sin, having seized an opportunity through the command, beguiled me, and through it slew me. So that the law is holy, and the command holy and righteous and good. Did then that which is good become death to me? Hallelujah, not so. But the sin, that it might be shown to be sin, by working death to me through that which is good, that through the command the sin might become exceeding sinful. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am being carnal, when I was one having been sold under the sin. For that which I do, I know not. For not what I would, that do I practice, but what I hate, that I do. But if what I would not, that I do, I consent to the law that it is good. So now, when being in the flesh sold under the sin, it is no more I that do it, but the sin which dwelleth in me. For I know that in me that is in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but to do that which is good is not. For the good which I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I practice. when being in the flesh, sold under the sin. But if what I would not that I do, it is no more I that do it, but the sin which dwelleth in me. And so I am finding when under the law covenant, for me the one wanting to be effectuating the good thing, that for me the evil is laying itself near. For I delight with the law of the God after the inward man, but I see a different law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity by the law of the sin which is in my members. Heavily ruined man that I am! Who shall deliver me out of the body of this death? But thanks be to the God through Yeshua anointed our Lord. So then I of myself, with the mind, on the one hand I am serving the law of God, but on the other hand, if still being in the flesh, I am serving the law of sin. And so no condemnation is now for the ones in anointed Yeshua, in the covenant of his blood, walking not by the flesh, but by the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of the life in anointed Yeshua freed me from the law of the sin and of the death. For the impossible thing for the law, in which thing it was powerless through the flesh, the God, sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned the sin in the flesh, so that the statute of the law might be fulfilled by us, the ones walking not for the purpose of flesh, but for the purpose of Spirit.